everyone, welcome to my channel. I have been doing some eclipse energy work here, and actually, how should I start this video? I'm going to start just by letting you know that there's a secondary way that I've been doing like divination and receiving messages. It's something that I've been developing in the last, I don't know, maybe, I want to say actually probably in the last, doing it unintentionally in the last couple years, but I've actually been more intentional with it in the last maybe month and a half. And so I actually sat down not expecting to get like very much through that in regards to the eclipse. And I was actually intensely surprised at how much detail I've actually received about this. So I'm going to be doing a separate video. Like, I'm not pulling out any tarot cards in this. I'm just going to go through like all of the notes, like just literally making notes through this channeling. And some of it I understand. Most of it I do, but there's a part here that I don't. And I'm kind of wondering maybe some of you will understand the connection to it, especially if you're American. But yeah, I'm going to do a separate reading that'll actually come out. I'm going to do that today. I'm not going to read during the eclipse, but I am going to read leading up to the eclipse, and that will come out tomorrow during the eclipse. So I'm going to try to read the energy while not being affected in kind of like the belly of it. So, okay, so this is really interesting. There's something significant about Montana. I'm just going to tell you what the message is, and I don't know how much I want to interpret it, especially if you guys know when I've done, like in the past where I've had messages come out in the cards regarding specific events that were going to take place. And a lot of times I find the more I try to interpret it, the more I could be leading myself in a different direction from what it is. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to interpret the messages that have come out. So there's something very significant about Montana tomorrow during the eclipse, during the solar eclipse of 2024, depending on wherever you're watching this. And it is the very first thing that came forward to me asking about the eclipse. The next thing, it is something to do, I'm really having difficulty trying to understand. I think it might be linked to further information that I'm going to share with you in a couple minutes here. But it's something to do with basically describing the moon as dirty. So the moon is dirty. And I've been trying to figure out, is it like something going on in Montana that is kind of intended to mask our intuition, or has our intuition been masked and it's to enlighten us? Now, I'm actually, as I'm talking through this and assimilating the information based on what I already know and haven't shared with you yet, but I will, I kind of feel like, okay, there's something, I want to say it is a little bit like our intuition has been masked. And the whole purpose of a solar eclipse is to kind of recalibrate our intuition. But there's something happening in Montana. I don't know what's significant about Montana. What would be there in Montana? If it's like political, military, I don't know. That is trying to continue to keep the moon dirty, like so that there's something, so that the solar eclipse is kind of like heavenly guided, right? It's divine. It's the planets moving in order and outside of chaos. It's order that is brought the solar eclipse to us. And the purpose of the solar eclipse is to show us the truth, is to kind of like, it's like a recalibration. I'm hearing it's like a recalibration, but there's something being done in Montana that is trying to prevent the recalibration. Oh my God, this all makes sense now when I look at everything I have written down. Okay. So I'm kind of feeling like there's something going on in Montana that is supposed to continue to make the moon dirty. Now, there's some type of connection between Montana and Chicago. No, it's like really specific. I'm telling you, I did not expect it to be this specific. Maybe it's kind of like this because we're like leading up to a recalibration. Like, this is something that I've just kind of been fiddling with. Well, I won't say fiddling. I want to say it's kind of like an extra way that I've been shown to divinate, to pull in psychic messages. And I wasn't really taking much stock of it over the last couple of years, or I wasn't focused on it. So in the last, I want to say month, maybe a tiny bit less, I become focused and intended with it. So putting intent into it. And this is the first time I've actually pulled a full-on message, and I'm actually delivering it to you guys through this. So, okay, there's some connection between Montana and Chicago. And whether that connection is just in timing because it's the eclipse, but I kind of feel like there's a little bit more here. So, okay, there's some type of mutual connection between Chicago and Montana. And there's something about a child who would have been born. I feel like it's past tense. I do not feel like this is signifying the birth of a child in Chicago. But again, I could be wrong. But it is the birth of a child who would have been born in Chicago in kind of like a projects area where there was a lot of poverty. This person was born to a single mom. There's some type of, like, I can only describe it as an SOS energy between Chicago and Montana. And it is because something's been taken from Chicago that has taken away, like, happiness, hope, and joy. And this is going to Montana. Like, I feel like there's some type of symbolism in this as well that I haven't cracked open completely. But that's why I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know what goes on too, like politically, geographically, historically, perhaps even here. Okay, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it didn't matter how hard I won't say tried, but the more I persisted in trying to get more specific details, there was a little bit of a message coming through to me that things are not truly and totally set in stone with whatever's going on between Chicago and Montana. So I do feel like that there's something that is unfolding or has a strong possibility of unfolding that is reliant on people's free will here. So there are some people involved in this that are still making free will choices, and they may not have come to full decisions yet about whether they're making these choices. There's a strong it's leaning strongly towards these choices being made, which is why I feel like this energy is coming up. But I'm still not getting, like, perhaps even what the outcomes are of this. I don't know. And maybe, I don't know. Again, I feel like there's something here that I just don't know about. Okay. So then I kind of pulled out of that because it became clear that I really wasn't getting much. I was actually just kind of like going in circles with that message. So then I wanted to get it. So then I thought I'm going to approach this a little bit differently. And I want to see what is the significance or what is the purpose or point or what is going on in the heavens at the time of the eclipse. And then I wanted to compare that to what is going on or what is the purpose or point of the eclipse in what is going on with mankind. And when I say mankind, I kind of mean like, well, we'll get to there in a minute. This is really fascinating. Okay, this kind of blew me away. Okay, in the heavens. So the heavens, which is also the order with the planets and everything, like this is orchestrated and this is supposed to take place. Like you can predict these, and I'm really getting the message. It has something to do with undirtying, cleansing the moon. When the sun and when the moon sits in front of the sun, it's like a cleanse, and it cleanses. It's supposed to cleanse what comes to us. It's kind of like a way that I've picked up the energy, because the sun is the truth, the sun is the clarity, it is the known, but yet it is incredibly intense, too intense for a human body. Okay, I know people will argue about me. Yeah, you can actually look at the sun. So you're looking at this like not. It's like metaphorical. Okay, it's like metaphorical to an extent, And so the moon, which does talk about like our intuition, it does talk about our fears, like there's a lot of things that can come through with this moon energy. But the moon is meant to filter the information from the sun. So kind of like the heavens, it filters the information from the heavens to us in a way that it can be assessed and understood in our human bodies and forms. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like we're human, we're flesh and blood. We can't just be exposed to the intense enormity of the sun. We would all fry and be dead. That's how it is. So the moon. But I'm getting that the moon has somehow become dirty by man, or some type of higher, more powerful, how did I describe it over here? The humanities that are in power. That's how it was defined. It is like humanity, and then there's the humanities in power. So, okay. So the heavens are attempting to cleanse the moon. But right, Montana is indicating about something about the moon dirty. The moon dirty. I don't know. Okay, so the heavens would like us to celebrate life. The heavens, though, have put their faith in man. Okay, this is the message that I'm getting. The heavens have put their faith in man, but the heavens feel let down. There's too much focus on money and too much focus on like, it becomes more clear when I talk about what the eclipse means to humanity and power. Okay, the heavens can make the sun disappear. That literally came out. The heavens can make the sun disappear, and that's what the heavens are doing. So the heavens are, it's like almost like the powers in the universe want to show us that we are capable of making the sun disappear. So we can bring chaos, but then we bring predictable order back. It's fascinating. So, okay. Oh yeah, so the reason this happens is to show man that the sun always returns. The sun always returns. So obviously this is something that is taking place. This is orchestrated by the heavens, right? And this is about celebrating life, celebrating to live. The celebration of life and living is what the heavens want us to experience. And by causing the eclipse, they show us that even in dark times, the sun always returns. But there is something definitely here about the moon being dirty. So, okay. Yeah, the heavens. Okay, so basically the heavens do not want us to feel down. There should be no time. We should give no time to sorrow or hate. No time to sorrow or hate. Okay? That's what this is all about for the heavens. I find it really amazing. Actually, it's such a profound message. Okay. Now, get into heavens was pretty simple. It wasn't even a full page. Like, you want to search on? Yeah, it wasn't even a full page. But mankind is a page and a bit here. So, okay. So mankind is trying to prove that they are the ones that can turn the lights on and off. Isn't that fascinating? And what did the heavens kind of say? I'm the one that makes the sun disappear. But man is trying to prove that they are the ones that make the lights turn on and off. That man is trying to prove that the pages of our life are actually empty and that we write the script. So that one I was like, whoa, wait a second. So that's even challenging a little bit of my own belief, because I've been kind of like, I'm one of those people that I kind of define fate and destiny. And I'll tell you what that I believe it to be. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm always open to what comes through. But I always feel that, yes, there are fated events, kind of like the eclipse. It's fated. You can predict the next one in this area. And like North America is in 2099. It's predictable. But it's what you do with that. But you see, I kind of lean into that there still is, because let's say you're supposed to bump into somebody at some point in your life, and that's a fated event. What you choose to do with that is kind of up to you. It's up to that person. And that's destiny. All right? It's carving your destiny out of your fate. But see, because I'm picking up on something between Montana here and Chicago, that to me, it was feeling like it was really difficult to get exact information out of it. There could be two reasons for that. One is that the information that it's surrounding is something that I have no knowledge about. And so spirit has no way of really trying to tell me what that is. They could try to tell me, but it might just, to me, like feel like I'm going around in circles because I don't understand the context of it. So again, like for some of you that are watching, if you, I don't know what it could be between Chicago and Montana, right? What goes on geopolitically in both areas, historically, I don't know. Or it could be that, something is not yet set in stone because it's man controlled. Yeah. So anyways, okay. So man believes that they are the ones that can turn the lights on and off, that the pages of life are empty and that they write the script. Kind of feel like it's not that way. Please don't know this is coming through. Okay, so then this is where it becomes into humanity in power and humanity as kind of like the collective. I kind of like that. It's not like calling it patriarchal. It's not. It's like, because it's still calling us all one. We're all one, but there's some of the one that are in this more powerful state, and then there's the others of us, the one that are like, just like doing our thing every day and paying your taxes and like that, right? So, okay, so this humanity and the power wants to look after us. Okay, humanity and the power wants to look after us. But this is being done. Now, this is interesting. This is being done through luxury. Like, it was described as like whining and dining. Whining and dining and courting. So whining and dining and courting the collective through this, by the powerful mankind, humanities. Right. Oh, yeah, because then it was like, right, because the heavens are saying that there's too much focus on wealth. It's, yeah. See, you can see how that, the heavens, the cosmos are trying to show us that there's too much focus on that. I'm the one that turns the lights on and off. Okay? Mankind is not the one who turns the lights on and off. But yet mankind's idea of the eclipse is that we turn the lights on and off, and that you need me to look after you. And if you still don't understand that I'm going to court you, mankind is going to court us with luxury. Now that's interesting that should come up, because it's one of the things that I've kind of always perceived is that when you keep a collective comfortable, they really don't revolt. It's when you push a collective energy past the point of comfort, or even you push them into some degree of risk, or they associate risk in the environment that they're in, then they have nothing to lose. So there's always this fine balance with the powers to be, and then like everybody around is to have power and have as much of it as you can to maintain that power. But there's a careful balance between taking too much of at least even perhaps perceived power from the collective. Because if they feel like they've got nothing to lose, well then, you have a problem. And that's recorded throughout history, really. Okay. Superficiality, courting man through superficiality. Trying to create a timid, shy, and scared collective. The people need someone wiser than them to tell them what to do. Yeah, so, yeah, and then there's something significant about man, humanity, and power convincing humanity of the masses that they need humanity and power to take care of them. I don't know, that just feels very, that's a storyline, but this is the part that really I thought was fascinating. The whole thing here where the heavens, the eclipse is to show man that I am in control of the sun coming and going. But yet man sees the eclipse or the powers to be as them being the ones that turn the lights on and off. And that they are the ones, that it is a blank script and they are writing it. So apparently that is false. So, and I don't know if this is somehow connected to something that's going to take place in Montana during the eclipse to try to demonstrate man's power over the eclipse. that's what I have. And I thought, I'm not going to pull cards on this. I'm going to pull like just separate energy. I'm just going to pull cards on the eclipse, just let it free flow. And that's going to be a video that it's going to come out like tomorrow during the eclipse. I'll have it come out like fairly early, so that depending where you are, like, you know, just come and read it whenever. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna put it out there too. I know that there's like a few people. I've been working through like my private readings, and there's just been like a tiny little bit of a lull yesterday. I'm gonna see how things go today and tomorrow. So, you know, if you're waiting and I know there's a whole batch of people that I've done, but there's like just a little handful of people that have paid me. And if I'm just a tiny bit behind on the time, it's just because of this eclipse energy, and I don't want to do your reading like if I feel like it could be I don't know, kind of like out of whack. So I just like throwing that out there. But yeah, that's the message that I got. So I'm going to continue to work on this type of divination or channeling. It's kind of like a bit of channeling, actually, for other things. But so maybe that's even significant here that I decided to kind of release something to you as about the eclipse here. So that is what I have for you, my collective friends. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.